All right, everybody, welcome to another review of The Oval. If you like these reviews, subscribe to my channel because I do reviews of every single episode every week. Now, next week is the season finale, so it's exciting to see what will happen then. But for now, let's talk about this week's episode. So, Nancy had walked into the restaurant, and Richard tells her, "You need to get out of here." But Frida says, "Well, you know what? I don't know what kind of sick stuff you got going on here, but leave me out of it. I'm going to leave." And Nancy's like, "Thank you." So Richard just tries to, keep Frida involved in his mess. "I need to make love to you." And Frida, she's leaving. She just gets up and leaves. She's like, "You know what? Bye. I have more respect for you than this." Because he was basically begging her for revenge sex. And that was disrespectful of him to treat her like that. He shouldn't be disrespecting anybody like that. So Frida leaves, and Nancy sits down, and of course, she's trying to plead her case again, and it's basically the same thing, round and around. She won't tell him who the father is, so they're not making any progress, and he just wants a divorce. And of course, Nancy is not pleased with that, and I'm like, if you want to try to save your marriage, Nancy, you need to tell Richard who Picky's father was. And it's clear that it is someone that Richard knows. Because he says, "Well, what is your problem? Are you afraid I'm going to go after him?" And you can tell by the way Nancy is acting that it is someone that Richard knows. So Kyle got a real good beating, a really good beating, and he deserved it. So Max just pummeled him. Just wow, it was a bad pummeling. And Max was getting ready to kill him, but Bobby rushed in and stopped him like, "This isn't the way, this isn't the way." And which it was interesting that Bobby reacted this way. He's being sensible now, like he did not just get done trying to kill Donald and Lily had to back him off. So Bobby is able to back Max off, and Max wanted revenge for Yuma. And they were on the car ride back to the cabin. They're talking, and Bobby is still trying to talk sense to him. He gives him a drink out of a flask, and Max gets to drinking it. And Bobby's like, "Don't drink it all." And I'm like, "Well, why did you give it to him, Bobby?" Because the situation that Max is in, like, is a situation where a person is going to do a lot of drinking. A person who drinks is going to do a lot of drinking in a stressful situation like this. So Max gets to talking about Lily, and he says, "Well, she's not a person who is built to live on the lam. She needs comforts." And Bobby is like, "Don't talk about Lily anymore. Don't talk about Lily anymore." So obviously Max struck a nerve there with him. So Lily calls Bobby, and she lets him know, "I'm okay." And they were having this conversation, and she tells him, "Go back to your wife." And I'm like, "So since when is Bobby married?" And then she starts talking about, "I'm going to make it work with Donald. This was fun, but it's over, blah, blah, blah." And then before he hangs up, he's like, "Oh, well, the kids are up." And okay, so we figured out that it was just, they were just talking because there's somebody listening in on their phone call. Because Max was like, "What was that about?" So it was just an act. So let's talk about Kyle. So Dale pulled Kyle out of the tub, and Kyle was just all beat up and bloody and all that, and Kyle was asking for a description of the guy that had beat him up, and it's like, "What did he look like? What did he look like?" And he has Dale open up this drawer, and Dale sees the gun, and Dale's like, I'm out of here. And Kyle's like, you see my badge, I'm a Secret Service agent, all of that. In there in the drawer there's a picture of Max, and Dale looks at it, and Kyle's like, was that him? And Dale's like, yeah. So Kyle knows for sure that it was Max who beat him up. Now, Kyle has Dale trying to help him clean himself up, and of course Kyle has other ideas because he's trying to get Dale to take his clothes off, and Dale's like, So anyway, as much as Kyle says that he loves Donald, he sure is easy to flirt with other men, because before in the last season he flirted with Hunter, and he didn't really have the excuse of saying, well, Donald really does not want me. I mean, because now he could say, well, Donald let Lily put me out, he doesn't really want me. Last season, Kyle was under the impression that he could get something together with Donald and all of that, but he was still acting like a tramp. So anyway, let's talk about Victoria. So she's still being a tramp, like she has been just about the whole series, trying to come on to married men. And so they're getting ready to go, her and Sam are getting ready to go on the run, and she's like, oh, well, take your jacket off and all this, and Sam won't do it. And all the while Priscilla is calling him, and Sam is ignoring her calls. And obviously that's very bad that he's ignoring her calls while he's hanging out with Victoria. And at first, after they finish running, he gets her together. He says, you pulled some bullshit. You can't make Priscilla feel uncomfortable like that. And then Victoria says she will apologize, which is a crock, because then she turns around talking about how she wants to see Sam naked and how she thinks he's huge, and she wants him to make love to her. So Victoria is full of crap when she says she will apologize. And then she hugs Sam, and she's like, I'm all sweaty. And I'm like, still full of crap. And so after that, Sam comes home, and he finds Priscilla distraught. And of course she'd be distraught because she just saw Jean dead, and Greg is dead too. And she details everything to him. And Jean is just not buying that Greg killed. Priscilla's just not buying that Jean was killed by Greg, and that Greg killed himself and all that, because this fake news report comes on, or at least the fake story. The news was reporting the fake story that they were given, and the news was talking about the neighbors heard Greg arguing and sounding jealous, and then they heard gunshots and all of that. Sam says something about Jean not signing out does not add up. But at the same time, when Priscilla says, oh, well, it was that little creep that did it, in reference to Jason, Sam kind of like says, hey, I know you don't like them, but... And Priscilla is just like, she's just had it. She just tells Sam, you know what, go downstairs on the couch, and she doesn't want him touching her or anything. So she is just very pissed off, because Sam isn't even, he knows something was not right about Jean not signing out, but he's not willing to entertain that the first family had something to do with it. So let's just get Sharon and Kareem out the way. They're bantering back and forth, and basically Sharon is just treating Kareem well because she needs a place to stay, but she says she doesn't fully trust him and all of that. And then he makes a comment, well, I could, there's a place for me to put up a nursery, and she's like and I'm like, she just was saying last week she wasn't sure if she was gonna keep the baby. Now she's laughing about the possibility of a nursery. I don't know. So let's talk about Barry. So he gets a message. It's from Daikon. He gets a message online. I guess it was like an email. And he calls him and he's like, who is this? And he's like, this is Daikon. And Daikon's claiming that he used to be a member of the group and all of that. And he wants to, and he also said that he has a daughter in the group, which I don't think that's true because we haven't heard anything Ruthless about Daikon having a daughter in the group. And Daikon wants to meet with Barry, but Barry says he's not coming out there, and Daikon says, I will be there. So at the end of the show, Barry goes out there and meets Daikon, and Barry's like, where's my daughter? Daikon takes out this duffel bag and he throws it. And yeah, so very creepy. So we'll find out, hopefully we find out next week what Daikon's angle is. So let's get on to Hunter. So of course Hunter is carrying on with Ellie, you know, his favorite pastime. And they're talking back and forth, but he ends up telling her to hurt him. So Hunter's a pain freak, and she starts biting him. He's like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, sick. No wonder Jason is so messed up. And so Jason, he goes in there with Alan, and he's telling Alan, well, my dad, he likes to have sex with women. I follow him and I watch him. And and Jason got a hold of this master key. And the Secret Service doesn't know that Jason has this master key, so he can get into anywhere in the White House that he wants. And Jason tells Alan, well, he's in there in the press secretary's office right now with her. And so Alan's like, I want to see this. So Jason takes Alan up there to see. And so Alan opens the door, and Hunter's like, who the F is that? And, you know, so we'll see what happens with that. I mean, Alan might get himself killed messing with all of this mess. You know, it's better to just walk away instead of engage in this craziness. You know, Alan just needs to walk away from that. His relationship with Ellie is a mess anyway. I mean, he pushed her and all that. I mean, that's not a good relationship. So let me review my notes, make sure that I got everything. Yeah, that's everything. So I thought it was a pretty good episode. I'm ready to see the season finale. I hope it's good. I hope it has action in it, you know, actually advances some aspects of the storyline instead of, you know, just like teasing something and not moving forward. Give us something to look forward to in the new season. You know, let us know that the new season is going to have some plot advancement. It isn't just, you know, more dragging things along. So that was the Oval. Tell me what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you the next time. Bye.